Shana here, personal development coach, focusing on understanding, reframing, and reclaiming our emotions. Today we have Aimee with us. Aimee is the sacred birth mentor. She's doula and a breathwork facilitator and a mother of three with twins. Aimee, so awesome to have you over here. Tell us a bit about yourself and the work you do and why you do it.
Thank you for having me, Shanna. So I support women in natural birth, specifically unmedicated natural births, to empower them to have a strong mindset and to show them the way of using their breath to stay present and to just be powerful in what their vision is for a natural birth.
Yeah, I love that because I'm not a mother yet, but I can envision how powerless we must feel as mothers because we're trying to grow a baby and not knowing what's going to come, right? It happens in most of our situations when we don't know the outcome. We feel like we have no control, we have no power. So having you to bring and to give forth that power, it's a really important thing, I think, for mothers to claim and own.
Yes, and I feel like generally there is a bit of lack of some education where that's concerned, especially with Western medicine and how they want to control most of the scenario, but it should be all about the mom and how she
Mm.
wants it all to unfold for her because it's her unique experience and it's such a powerful one too. Like when you own that power, it you can be on cloud nine after having a birth. Like it's so amazing, so amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And you obviously have experienced it. Not only do you have three kids, you had a set of twins. So you
Yeah.
were, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I can only imagine what you had experienced yourself and, trying to go through that, not trying and going through that birth procedure.
Yeah, because I had a midwife for my first one and she was like she monitored me, but she was hands off. Like this is your experience and she basically just stood back and watched my body go through what it was built to do and guide me. She was there to support me in that. Like that is a primal thing. It's been happening for generations and generations and generations. So when I found out that I was having twins, I wanted to have that same sacred birth again. But no midwife would see me. I couldn't do like a home birth. That was totally out of the question. Anything like that. Um, I had to have a doctor because I was considered high risk because there was two babies. That was really the only thing high risk about my pregnancy was that there were two babies. Everything else was perfectly normal within my pregnancy. Thankfully, I got a really great doctor, and she was not very invasive or anything like that. She let me decide a lot of things that I wanted, and she supported me with them. So I was able to have that great birth in the hospital again. However, I had to be powerful and I had to advocate for myself. There were things that I had to say no to because I felt that they were delaying my labor or like there were a few things that were happening that I was like, no, I can't do this. I don't want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. So I had to be powerful in how I advocated for myself. And it was great and ended up being a fantastic experience.
I just love everything you said about that because you learned what you went through, and what you went through, you want other people to go through, to feel, other women to go through, to feel that powerfulness, right? And that they are allowed to advocate for themselves, and what we've been doing for generation on generation on generation. And as we can see, that a lot of things have changed from beginning to the end, and sometimes it's not for the better because now it's just become something where they just want us constantly, I don't know, in this factory, I guess, and how
Yeah,
they
you're on
want
the
us to
clock.
give it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're on the clock. They want to be in control so that there's nothing that goes wrong, all that other stuff. And they don't have the trust in the body like they should have, that I believe
Yeah,
that they should have.
Yep, I love that about the
Yeah.
trust in the body because it does believe, and not just only not only just birth, right? I think it's in our everyday situation, intuition, right? Like we are allowed to listen to our intuition, although society, I mean, we have so many. I mean, I would have to go in depth, but the media, the TV, the this, the that, and like sometimes our intuition just gets lost, lost in the communication of other people's communication.
Yes, absolutely.
Amy. So I know that which I love because it's something also I teach before for emotions. So I love how breath work is just so multifunctional and so many different things through fitness, through birth, through emotions. And birth is it's a physical and mental journey. And I know that you teach specific breathing techniques to help women navigate their birth. Can you walk us through how a mother can use her breath to stay grounded in her body and how to calm her nervous system? What are some techniques you use?
Yeah, so one of the techniques while women are in labor, just in general, the birth helps you be present. It helps to clear your mind. It helps to oxygenate your body, keep it functioning optimally. These are things that the breath can do on a daily basis, not even just for birth, right? So um, with so when a woman is in labor, it's good to get that breath going properly. So, inhaling through the nose to oxygenate the body and keep those contractions, help them be productive contractions. Keep the mind clear of any thoughts of the future or the past or anything like that, just to stay in the present moment. Um, and then to keep yourself calm and grounded in that situation. Because some labors can be quite long, some labors can be quite fast and furious. And I still think that that clarity and that groundingness is so needed during that time. Then when it comes time to push the baby, it's more of like an activating type of breath that's needed to get the baby
Okay,
out,
okay,
right? And to avoid tearing. And that's what I teach.
okay. So when we're starting, we're breathing in to keep ourselves calm. And then when we're about to give birth, we want to get a bit more energized and it will help us to not tear and I don't know, be more, yeah, more, I guess, energized to give birth.
Yeah, but like to help the body to soften and to open and those kinds of things. And like the first rule of breathing is to breathe through your nose, right? That is the main place to do it. If you breathe through your mouth too much, we tend to feel anxious. And that
Hmm.
breathing through the nose helps to keep that anxiety down.
Okay, that's so interesting, and I completely agree with that. Because one of the things that I do teach is that breathing in and then exhaling from the mouth. But I have also done a bit of studies from Wim Hof, who I love him, the Iceman, and he also says that sometimes it's also okay just to breathe out from the nose as well. But the important thing
Mhm.
is breathing in from the nose because that's the main function of the nose
Yes,
to breathe.
absolutely. Absolutely. And counting while you're breathing so that you can stay in that present moment. Letting your exhale go a little bit longer than your inhale so that you can induce that
Hmm.
calmness.
Yep, 100%. I love that. I honestly, I mean, once again, I'm not a mother, but I really advocate for breathing because it just helps in so many different scenarios. And like as we had started the conversation, when we breathe, everybody's automatically doing it. But if we can take control of something that we do automatically, it can literally change a birth experience. It can change the way you run through fitness, the way you do exercises, the way you regulate your emotions. So breathing is like this fundamental sphere of life,
It's a
of taking
free
back
innate,
control life.
yeah, it's a free innate tool that we all possess.
Yep. I love that. Honestly, I love that. When we were speaking, Amy, once I'm gonna just go a bit off subject from birth, guys over here. But I love and I want to stress how important breathing is. And Aimee has a really, really good story, cool story that if you're keen to share with us.
Yes, yes, I'd love to
Yeah.
share with you. So my mom, a few years back, was having issues with her blood pressure. She had some chronic neck pain, and she wasn't really in a great place. So she trusted her doctor. He helped her, put her on some medication, and it helped. But then she was finding that she was getting side effects from some of the medication. So then he was putting her on more medication, which is that is his zone of genius. That is how he's taught. That is his job, and he was doing his job.
Yeah.
But she was feeling frustrated because the medicine was just starting to pile up. She was taking more and more every day, and she didn't see her life like that. That's not what she had seen for herself from when she was younger. She was like, I feel like I'm being trapped. And I'm in a living a life that she didn't really want to be living. So I had a conversation with her one day and I was like, Mom, take your power back. Like, you
Oh,
don't have to hand it over completely to your doctor. Educate yourself. Make decisions for yourself. Same as in birth. Educate yourself, empower yourself, make those decisions so you can advocate for yourself. And I had just done, actually, funny enough, I took my breathwork facilitation course during COVID, all online, all online. But of course, it's so ironic how we were not supposed to be breathing
I
on each other or whatever, right? And that's what I decided to do. So I was able to teach her some breathing techniques, and we actually hooked her up to a blood pressure cuff at the time, because I wanted to show her the power of her breath. So we did one 30-second breathing technique. So I can share it with you right now. It's just it's such an easy one, so easy for people to do on a daily basis. And it's you breathe, you expand your belly, inhale through your nose, expand your belly, and then bring your breath up into your chest. So it's like a two-part inhale, expand your belly, breath up into your chest, and then exhale through your nose or your mouth. And then you do 3 of those. And on the last one, you exhale deeply and hold your breath just for as long as it feels good. And then you move into that breathing cycle again. So we did
oh,
3 sets of those 3 breaths. And after the first one, her top number of her blood pressure came down 10 points. And then we did it again and it came down more. We did it again and it came down even more to a more normal range. And she was just, it's now part of her daily practice because she has now gotten off of most of her blood pressure meds. She's gotten off of
wow.
all the meds that she was being treated for the side effects from her blood pressure meds. And now she uses the breathing techniques on a daily basis.
Wow. I love how we have this theme of taking back our power. I love it because even without noticing, even without wanting to, we give up so much of our power, so much of us, just because of all the conditioning and the noise that there is out there. And we don't even know because we're like hypnotized, right? Oh, I have high blood pressure. What's the first thing I need to do? I need to go to the doctor. What does the doctor knows that I need to do? Now, we're just talking about doctors over here. There's so many different things, guys. It could be that with social media, with I don't know, the way we look, the way we go to the gym, and just we're so conditioned and hypnotized that we need to take back our power, and we just have to start living conscious, and it's so important.
We're
So,
conditioned to
Amy,
trust, yeah, we're conditioned to trust outward sources when our
yeah,
trust should be our intuitions and ourselves.
yes. Yep, I love that. I love that. So just a recap of the breathing technique, it's 3 breaths of breathing in from the belly and the chest from the nose, and then exhale either through the nose and through the mouth. And then on the fourth breath, on the
The
third breath, excuse me,
yeah,
the third breath, you hold as much as you can, release, and start the cycle again.
Yep. And it's literally a 30-second exercise. It's a great way. I start my day with it. It's a great way to start your day, end your day. It's a great way if you're feeling overwhelmed, sitting in traffic or something's going on at work or with the kids or anything like that, just to give yourself 30 seconds to be in that breath, clear your mind, ground yourself, get rid of that anxiety, and go back at it again.
I love it. Love it. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, so let's go, guys. We're gonna go back, mothers. We're gonna go back to birth over here. All right. So when we're obviously going through birth as women, there's a lot going on. I can imagine how it can be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's a whole lot of things, right? We're growing a living human in our belly. I can't imagine it.
It's
So
so
we need,
incredible.
yeah, it is so incredible. It's such a, I can imagine it will be such a beautiful thing. Yeah. But we need to obviously prepare ourselves in all of our spheres, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And we need to prepare our body. And obviously, I know, especially that you have gone through this experience yourself, and you would know that it's an ecosystem. We are an ecosystem, and we're also ecosystem to our child. The body, we need to prepare the body for birth, and it's just not a plan, right? A written plan, and that's it. So, from your perspective, what are the key way woman can honor and prepare her body in the final weeks so she feels strong and capable rather than fearful in the process?
A strong mindset. A strong
Okay.
mindset of what they want out of their experience. Each experience is unique. We could talk to 10, 20, 100 people. Not one story will be the same. It's all beautifully, magically unique. However it unfolds, it's your story. So yeah, a strong mindset is one thing, and to have education on what your body's doing, how birth is unfolding, and then being in tune with your intuitions, so you can get those messages, those hits of like something's not right. I need to ask for help, or
Yeah.
I feel like things are going well. I just need a little bit more time. That type of
Yeah.
thing. Okay. And the breath helps you stay in that clear mindset in the present moment.
In the present moment, yeah. I completely agree with that about present moment with the breathwork because it can take you back from so many different situations, like whether if you're feeling anxious, anger, resentful, whatever it is, the breath really just takes you back. I mean, I remember when I was a child, I was taught to count sheep. To take my mind off things. I wish I
Yep.
was taught just to breathe though as well. I mean, I know obviously
Yes.
counting sheep is a good thing because it does work because I remember, but I wish I was taught like, hey, Shan, if you just focus on your breathing, and you can imagine if I was taught that as a child, how much more efficient I would be, or not efficient, I don't know what the word to use exactly, but how much more capable and maybe more relaxed or maybe more in control I would have been as an adult.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. That was one thing I used to tell my kid. I still tell my teenage boys that, not as much anymore because a lot of times they stay up later than I do. But um, um, I would tell them count 10 breaths before you go to, if you're having trouble falling asleep, count 10 breaths. Most of the
I
time,
like that.
I didn't hear back from them. They were sleeping.
I like that. I prefer that over the counting sheep. Obviously, it still works, the counting sheep, guys. But I
Yeah.
think if we can teach our little ones from a younger age about how important breath work is, and obviously this is not just mental, right? It's physical as well because of all of the different, processes it's doing with our blood and oxygenating ourselves. I want to talk. I know this might be controversial, so let me know obviously how you feel. But I want to talk about the position of giving birth. Now, I have lots of friends that are from Taiwan, the Philippines, and these are just my mates, and they've had kids, and they really advocate for um giving birth in a squat because you're working with gravity, and but then we've been conditioned to lie on our back as a doula and a mother of three who's been through it. Can you explain? Can you give us more information on that?
Absolutely. Like you said, being upright helps because you're working with gravity, not against gravity. Also, movement, rocking your hips, taking a little walk, going on your hands and knees, moving your body in different ways so that your baby can get into position,
Okay.
right? Like there's so many, like years and years ago, people would do this like in the fields. They would have babies in the fields, right? And they were moving around. There's indigenous cultures that had posts, and the birthing mother would move from post to post so that they could have movement while they were giving birth, and then squatting to work with gravity.
Oh, it's
So
interesting.
yeah, yeah. Um, it's more convenient for the doctor ergonomically for their body. It's more convenient for them to have the woman laying on her back, but it compresses like veins. It stops your body from getting as oxygenated when you're on the back because of compression. You're working against gravity, and it's just not it doesn't feel like a natural position at all,
Mm,
right? And it's not
mm,
for the birthing mother. It's for the person that's delivering or catching the baby. I also
yeah.
heard that there is, I have to double check that this was true, but I heard that there was a king specifically who had a fetish that liked to watch women birth babies, and that's why they started on their back so that he could watch it.
What? Oh my gosh. I'm not surprised to be honest. As in there are so many, I don't know, crazy stories and things how they evolved, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not yeah. Yeah, I can imagine because I do have a friend that she is Taiwanese, so she's brought up in that culture, and she always told me, "Show me Shan. I don't know why everybody's lying on their back." She goes squat.
Yes. There are African women who jump while they're in labor. They jump around.
No way.
Yeah. To help
I
get the baby
always
down. It must be a belief in their culture to just help get baby down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Even us just talking about it, to me, it really makes perfect sense. Because, like, this is just like what I am thinking just right now. If we just stand still, the baby is just going to be like, meh, I don't know what I'm doing in here. Okay, obviously, we have our natural body that wants to push the baby out and it's time to come out. But if we're helping and aiding the baby, to do what it's meant to do with the jumping or the squatting. It's just like, okay, I'm coming out now, mom and dad.
Yep. And mostly at the end of your pregnancy, when you're really big and really uncomfortable at the very end of the pregnancy, not everyone feels that way, but a lot of people do. Um, it's not comfortable to lay on your back. You can't breathe properly. It doesn't feel good at
Ooh,
all. Side lying feels a whole
okay.
lot better. Yeah. Yeah. And often, like, if you're going in for like a treatment or massage or spa treatment or something like that, like, um, sometimes it's just not comfortable to be laying on your back when you're that pregnant.
Okay, well, to be honest, this was going to be another one of my questions about how, like, we would sleep and whatnot, and it actually makes sense because I think there'll be a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Side
Okay, so then,
sleeping with a pillow between your legs is was the most comfortable position for me. And at the end of my pregnancy with the twins, I had to, it was probably the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy with the twins. My belly was 49 inches around. I couldn't drive at the end because I couldn't reach the gas pedal because I needed so much room in between. Um, but I would
you.
have to wake up every time I rolled over in bed because I had to hold my belly and move it over and then fall back asleep. And then, yeah.
Oh, bless you. That's so, yeah. Was there any exercises that you did that you said, oh my gosh, this really, really helps me?
Yes. So there's one exercise that I really advocate for to train your body through labor and contractions is to do a wall sit.
Okay.
Like while you're pregnant, to do a wall sit and start at 10 seconds and practice the breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, but a little bit longer than your inhale because you're putting a little bit of tension on your legs and you're putting a little bit of discomfort in your body. Okay, you have a sensation that you're required to breathe through. So that's what I recommend doing to condition your body to breathe through contraction. Most of the time, contractions won't be longer than 1 minute long. Sometimes
Okay.
at the very end of labor, before you start pushing, the contraction will sometimes like be one on top of the other. So you're breathing for like a whole 2 minutes or something like that, or a minute and a half or whatever. But typically, that is the strongest, longest contraction is about a minute long. So
Okay.
to work yourself up daily in that wall sit, start with 10 seconds, do it every day, breathe through it. When it starts to feel easy, add another 10 seconds and just keep doing
Mm.
it until you work up to 1 full minute of breathing through that sensation of having the discomfort in your legs, the tension in your legs. And then
Mm.
once that gets easy, if you want to move, like if you start doing it early on in your pregnancy and it gets easy once you've worked up to the minute, go down a little bit further to create more tension in your legs
Mm.
and breathe through that. And then
Okay.
your
Interesting.
body will get that cell memory of how long a minute is. So then you won't feel while you're in labor, in the most intense part of your labor, you won't be like, stressing like this is never going to end. You know
And
it's going
oh,
to end because you've trained yourself to breathe for about a minute.
oh, I love that. I love that how you just said about the, priming and preparing your body and, getting your cells to know about it because this works in so many different things, right, in our life. It's like with our triggers and our emotions. And it's just so important. It's true. We need to prepare ourselves so that when we are giving labor, we'll be like, oh no, this is fine. So it's good. So, I mean, guys, it's a bit of a neuroscience. So when we are triggered, we're triggering the amygdala. Now, the amygdala is the fight, the flight, and the flee zone. Now, when we're training ourselves from before, I'm assuming with birth, and we're doing the wall sits, our amygdala is going to be like, I'm familiar with this. I don't need to fly from it.
No?
I can, I can be, I'm good with you. I'm here with you because I've seen you before. I love that. Love that,
Yeah.
love that. And when we're talking about wall sits, I'm assuming, can you see me?
Yep, I can see you.
Yes? So I'm assuming we're going on a wall like this and we're just holding down like this.
Just like
Awesome. Oh,
that.
woo!
Yep.
I can already do this.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's so
you don't have to make yourself uncomfortable right away. Like put yourself in a position where just slightly uncomfortable, slight tension, and then you can work yourself up to it if you want.
yes.
Um, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, extra bonus tip is to
Yes.
pull up your pelvic floor.
Oh, I was gonna ask that, Keegan.
Yes. Then you strengthen those
Okay.
muscles as well for a productive birth.
Can you give us a quick tip? Any exercise? How many times a day? What should we do? Give us some.
Yeah, that one I recommend once a day. Um,
Okay.
Another one is to just move, go for walks, sit on an exercise ball, rock your hips, move your hips. I personally really liked the frog pose, the yoga frog pose.
Okay, I
Um,
know. Yep, yep.
yeah, to open up your hips. But be careful not to stretch too much because of the relaxin hormone that's in your body. It tends to like
Okay.
want your body to, or allow your body to stretch a little bit more. So just be mindful of not stretching
Mindful.
to the max, just for
Okay.
opening and softening.
Okay. So the pelvic floor we should be doing once a day.
Yeah, once or
Try.
twice a
Yeah.
day. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome. I love that bonus. Great, great, great.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. So we're still sticking on the theme of taking back power, and birth is once again a whole sphere for a woman, right? There is finding out that that they're pregnant. Then after finding out, there is that like not worry, but there is that conditioning of having to listen to people unless or society unless we are trained otherwise, and we need to take back that power. Plus taking back the power of growing because I'm assuming fatigue, nausea. Obviously, every woman goes to different things in her pregnancy. Then there is taking back her power postpartum, her identity. I mean, I can imagine the shift that you had to go through, and obviously all the other ladies watching over this who are mothers. I can imagine the identity shift, right? I mean, in life, I like to use the analogy of a mountain, and we're ascending, and then we have that flat land, and then we're ascending, then we're descending. That's the way life is, and that comes with triggers, emotions, identity, different situations. Talk to me, talk to us about the afterwork of birth.
So becoming a new parent is completely life changing. You have this little bundle that you love more than anything in the world that completely depends on you for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months out of the year. It
And
is
you have
life
two of
changing.
them at home.
Yeah, that was a little bit easier because I knew what I was sort of getting myself into, but not really. um, but yeah, it's so life changing. And my biggest advice is to still use your breath. You know, I feel that most of the anxiety for new parents, new moms especially, is they want to do it all right,
Mm,
but they don't have a manual to follow. And that can create a lot of anxiety. So tune into your intuitions, create that bond with your baby, pick up their cues, learn their cues in the first few weeks of having them. That is a learning curve. Um, but tune in, create that bond, breathe, 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 stay in the present moment. And do something for yourself. So
mm,
I had roles as a wife, I had roles, many roles as a mom, but I needed to have Aimee time. With the
I love that.
twins, I didn't have it as much with my first because I was still learning all that, learning about all that. But with the twins, I went to hula hoop class every Friday night for 1 hour. That was Aimee. I got to be Aimee in that environment. I got that time where I didn't have kids with me. I didn't have a husband with me. No one was asking anything of me. I got to just be me. And there's power in that.
I love that. I honestly love that because I can't imagine, not the pressure, but I would assume it is pressure that we need to get everything right because we've never done it before. Like I remember when I was changing from when I was changing from my 10 years ago from being resentful and then letting go of that piece. I was so letting go of that resentment. I was so scared of what would happen to me, my new identity, and the pressure I was putting on myself of what, because I was holding on that resentment for so long. So having that shift, from being not single, not being a parent and not having this baby that that depends on you, then having somebody depend on you, the identity will change so much, and we do forget ourselves, right? Because we feel that pressure. And yes, I honestly, I love how that it's so important for us to have that me time, that Amy time, that Shana time, that whoever's watching this, you need to have your time because I mean, I'm sure we know that expression as well is that if your cup is full, then you can give back, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially at, like in also during pregnancy, but especially postpartum, there's a lot of noise from
Mm.
society and from the people that you love the most. And there's a lot coming, there's opinions, there's all sorts of stuff coming at you, advice, unsolicited advice, all sorts of things coming at you. Take what you need and leave the rest.
Yes, I love that. I love take what you need and leave the rest because it happens in so many different aspects of our life, right?
Yeah.
Take what you need and it's okay, guys. Like I know it's a different situation, but it relates like with being a business owner. I have a business mentor, but sometimes I'd still want to do things my way because if I succeed or if I fail, I still wanted it to be my decision. So it's like how you're saying, like, yes, listen and take what you need, but then sometimes we're going back to our intuition. We're going back to what we feel could be right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge testing ground. What works for me? What works for us? What works for our family? What works for your business? What works for your clients? What quarter inch turn do I need to make this better? Right? And it works in, yeah, all facets. Absolutely.
All facets, that's exactly it. And I'm assuming, obviously, because there is this new life in your hands and you're probably so worried about what if you do something wrong. I think we need to leave that worry about of doing something wrong, but what about doing something right? Because we have a good intuition, right? Because we've been not programmed, we've been created this way as mothers and as fathers, but we're talking about mothers to have that intuition and to know what's good for our offspring. Yeah.
Yeah. And we can be so hard on ourselves sometimes.
Mm.
Um, but at the end of the day, is it ever going to be perfect? But what progress did you make that day? Right?
I love that. Yeah. What progress did you make that day and keeping something for you to keep your identity as well, and that way you don't have to be a mother, a wife, a business owner, or whatever other different roles that we all have to take on in our life.
Yeah, you don't want to lose yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, Amy, I just would like to do a bit of a recap of what we spoke about because there were um so many nuggets along the way, golden nuggets. I love how that's the breathwork that you had when first of all when going through birth and pre-birth and that how it keeps your mind controlled and how it keeps you in the present moment and how it also helped your mother which was you even saw it going down the blood pressure which is just a beautiful moment to experience. I love the preparing of the body, the different things that you gave us, the physical exercises, the wall, the Kegel, walking, movement, posture for when we're giving birth, girls, women, ladies, and reclaiming ourselves after birth. Because I do see it with obviously people that I work with, and friends, and we lose ourselves in something that's meant to be such a beautiful moment. And it's nothing wrong, but the things we need to take back our power.
Yes.
I love that. Anything else you'd like to add, Amy?
I think we covered a lot of it.
I really think so. I think this is awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you so much, Amy, for joining us. I think this was an amazing, amazing information and helpful. And even for me, I'd love to be a mother. So I'm going to take all of these different things. I was writing notes down. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting.
Awesome.
Have
Yeah,
you
you know how to contact me if you need me. And
Yes,
thank you
yes,
so
I
much for
do.
having me. This was a wonderful conversation. I appreciate you.
It was. And I also, even, you know what I just realized? Even for mothers, so here we were more directing for mothers who've given birth and who are preparing. But you know what? You really helped me with my mother journey. Like what how I would like to also, like, now I know that I can take back control from before my pregnancy. I'm allowed to take back control. And yes, I should be
Yeah.
doing this pelvic. So this is, for any woman out there that would like to go on that journey of having a little baby. Awesome. Guys,
Absolutely.
whoever wants to follow Aimee, I'll drop her link on top of the caption over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shanna.
Thank you. Bye.